Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Kitkast, which I know the number of is number 19. Welcome to this episode of number 19. I'm gonna level with you. It is, it's like it's the time. It's currently 8 o'clock. Normally I go to bed at 9, so I've left this one late, which is completely my fault. I pulled a classic, I'll do it later, and then later came, and then I did it. I wanted to do it later, and then I did it. I kept pushing it later until it became now, which is too late almost. So that's fun. I want to take this one slower. You know, I want to thank everyone because obviously the last podcast episode was a bit weird, not unconventional. Ow, no, unconventional episode, which mostly just came from the fact that we recorded that on a Saturday, and the thing about it is the next day me and Sam were going to go to this thing in the city, which is the Weta Workshops. What was it? It was like Weta Workshops like revealed or something. It was essentially just so Weta Workshops, if you don't know what that is, because you probably don't, because it's a New Zealand thing. Weta Workshops is probably one of the biggest props and like physical prop makers for movies, and they're big. They made, like, I think it must have been like all the props or most of the props for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, because obviously those were directed by Peter Jackson, who I believe has some stakes or some ownership of the Weta Workshop company. So they did something to do with Apex Legends and Borderlands, the games. They're very similar to Steam. I've realized they're like they're similar to Steam in the sense that they take quality over quantity, like, a lot. They're very much the type of like, you know how Steam, right? It's impossible to get a job at Steam. It's just like you don't get a job at Steam because they have such a specific requirements and such high level of entry that it's just impossible to get a job there. It's the same for Weta Workshops. When you live in New Zealand, oh fuck, I'm right next to them. When you live in New Zealand and you want to get into the film industry, you go to Weta Workshop. You go to Wellington. You live in Wellington, and you try and get into Weta Workshops because that's how you get into the film industry, or to some degree, if you get into the prop film industry. If you want to get into the general film industry, it's still possible to do it without Weta Workshop. In fact, it's very possible, but essentially, Weta Workshops is you go to your friends, you tell them you have a job at Weta Workshops, they know it's serious, that type of stuff. So we went there to do a setup tour that they've done. I believe Adam Savage has done a couple of videos. Yeah, Adam Savage from Mythbusters has done a couple of videos on it. If you go to his YouTube channel, he uploaded it like a couple of months ago about it. He went and saw it. It was kind of interesting watching all of his videos leading up to it, then actually going to it myself and seeing them there in the presentation. It was cool. I think in terms of the presentation, in terms of what I was actually shown in it, it was really cool. And I've been to 2 Weta Workshop tours in my life. I've been to the one in Auckland, so the one that I'm talking about right now. So that's the event, the Weta Workshop Unveiled or something, whatever it's called. And then there's this another tour that I did, which is one you can do anytime you want to, and it's in Wellington. So Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand. And in New Zealand, I don't want to discriminate, I don't want to be mean, but it's the truth and everyone knows it. There are 2 main cities in New Zealand, and they're really the only 2 cities that actually matter if you care about New Zealand. It's Auckland and Wellington. Auckland is the business capital of New Zealand. It's where you want to go if you have a business. It's the place where essentially the housing market is shit in Auckland, and everywhere in New Zealand the housing market is shit, but it's only unlivable in Auckland. It's similar to like Los Angeles or New York, with the benefits. I've already talked about this before. You need to hear this again. I'm sure I've already said this stuff before. Essentially, you live in Auckland, you get access to the most mainstream stuff. If you live in Auckland, chances are that's where most of the stuff's going to be. That's where most filming happens. Move to Wellington, that's the capital of New Zealand, and it's just as it's not as popular in terms of like mainstream appeal, but it's as popular in terms of what you could do there, and it's as popular in terms of population and stuff. I've been to Wellington a lot. In terms, I'd say my places visited in New Zealand. It goes. My top 3 is definitely number 1 is Auckland because I live here, so obviously I come in and out of Auckland all the time. Number 2 would be Wellington because I used to go down there like every couple months or so because I had family up there, so we'd go visit them, and I didn't explore much of Wellington because I did it when I was really young and they didn't want to take me around the city because it's not like I'm a child. The most fun I'm gonna have is at home or like wherever the base is, wherever I'm at. But I've been to Wellington City quite a lot now that I'm older, and I really enjoy it. But I prefer Auckland City, but Wellington City is a nice runner-up. They have a better they have a better like anime zone or whatever the fuck it's called. There's this New Zealand anime shop. It sucks, but it's better in Wellington than it is in New Zealand. It's more of an event in Wellington. They have an R18 section as well, which is pretty funny. So, yeah, there's Auckland, Wellington, then this place called Wanganui, which you don't need to know about. It's the middle of nowhere. It's where I used to live. So I went there to Wellington to do the Weta Workshop tour in Wellington. And the thing about the difference is, right, is in terms of experience, the Auckland one is way above. Like for the Wellington one, they essentially just got a tour guide or just someone who works there. And that's what I like about it though, is it wasn't a tour. It was a tour guide, but it wasn't a tour guide. It wasn't someone whose job is to take you around. It was someone who works there who they just went, can you show them around? And she was like, yeah. So they essentially just got us out and showed us around the workshop where they actually work rather than a setup place which they showcase. Although to be fair, the Auckland was really good in the way that I set it up. I haven't seen anyone do it like this before, and I'll explain in a second. But I prefer the Wellington one over the Auckland one simply because the Wellington one felt more authentic and it felt like I was actually seeing what they work. But the Auckland one, not to discredit the Auckland one was amazing. The thing I like about it though is even though the Wellington one was very much how they work, the way they set it up in the Auckland one was that they made essentially they made three fake movies. And they didn't actually make the movies. It was very clearly that they were fake. One was an Indiana Jones ripoff. One was like a average horror movie with no plot ripoff, and one was so it was a horror movie to start with, and then we moved over to a fantasy. Yeah, it was a fantasy, a horror movie, a fantasy, and then a sci-fi. And the way that they set it up is so they made three movies. They made all the assets for them. They made a trailer for them, and they did it as if they were really going to make the movie, and then they didn't actually make the movie for obvious reason. And that's such a cool way of setting it up. I've never seen that before. Most of the time, and it's so genuine as well because it is essentially just making a movie, but with the core theme of we're not going to be using these for anything, so we can show them to the public and we can show how we were going to make the movie. It was really cool. I think if you're in Auckland or if you're in New Zealand, you should definitely go there. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. We did this extra part as well. I'll talk about the actual event quickly. So we started off at a horror movie one, and that was mostly showing about props. That was mostly showcasing props, or kind of props. It was showcasing like I don't know, fucking. So obviously one of the big things that Weta Workshop's famous for is they're very good at using silicone and materials to like reshape a human's face. Sounds weird, but costumes, right? But like really intricate costumes, not just clothing, like actually making silicone rubber mask things to put on. You would have seen them in like fucking Marvel movies. I hate to say it. I hate to make that comparison, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's what the actors put on to have a physical, actual bodysuit. That's what it is. A silicone bodysuit of a character that they're trying to portray. So that's how they showed it through the horror movie, because there was a lot of monsters in the horror movie, so it was a good way to showcase how extravagant you can get with it while still keeping it based on realism. That was a lot of cool. I mean, this is the main theme, but they do show like pretty much everything else there. They show about props and landscapes and sets and stuff. So we went through there, and then we moved on to the fantasy area. Oh, but there was a little intermission in between it though, where we went into like the workshop. Or the workshop of someone who worked at Weta Workshop. They were an actual person who worked at Weta Workshop, and the whole thing was about their story. It was cool. It was really cool. Like, so you walk into, so imagine you walk around and you walk into the workshop, and there's a guy sleeping at a table, but it's not a real guy. It is a like fake body, a fake creation of a person that looks exactly like him. That was really cool. See that? It's like, wow, that's kind of interesting. They can pretty much make a human look perfect, a perfect human. That's how they did some stuff in movies. I've seen stuff like that before. And you look around, it's his workshop. The guy who works here, it's his workshop. And then we had a tour guy who was like, this is really cool. This is where he works. This is all the stuff we've been working on. There was a fun little like drawing tablet and computer on there with Photoshop open, which had a time lapse of what it would take to make a mock-up of a character, which I think was really cool. I enjoyed that one quite a lot. Because you can just like, I mean, I'm fucking video guy, whatever, video guy. I'm YouTube obsessed, so just seeing someone open Photoshop and use it, it's really fun to watch people's process with how they use it, because I feel like my process when it comes to making videos and using Photoshop and Premiere and After Effects and stuff is super unorthodox, because I train myself and stuff, so it really did just feel like it's just cool to watch. And then on the left of it, there was this book and the dude was like, and this is actually the story of the guy who worked there was apparently it was ages ago, and he stalked down the creator of Weta Workshop, and he followed them home, and he cornered him at a coffee shop or something, and something happened. Like, he knocked him over. He tripped in front of him or something, and then he dropped his coffee all over himself. And then the dude was like, "Let's go in and get a drink, and you prove to me that you can make, like, you can be a part of Weta Workshop." And he was there, and he was like 17 or something. No, he was 16. I remember, because he was 1 year younger than me. So he was 16, and he went in there, and he showed him his portfolio, and the dude was like, "Look, I can't employ you right yet because you're too young. You're only 16. Come back in 4 years, and I will give you a job at Weta Workshop." So he went away, he trained, he came back in 4 years, and got a job at Weta Workshop. What are you doing? Which I think is just really, really cool. I made the joke to Sam. I was like, "Oh, I'm 16, bro. My time's up. I can't. I'm washed up, bro." But obviously that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, even at a young age, you can show promise, and when the time is right, you will be rewarded for your efforts or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, that was fun. And then you walk into the room. Here's the room. So here's the room. Walk out of the room, and then you turn to your right, and there's a massive version of the guy. So, that, and then it's like, I think the guy said it was like times 40 scale or something, or like times 4. It was some multiple of 4. It was massive though. It was so like, it was really cool to look at. And another story came out of that one. Apparently, so on the giant, it had its eye open, so you could see its eye, and the guy was like, "This is really cool. This is the type of stuff that, like, this is the type of things I thought of as a child, which I thought how the world worked, and I thought it was really cool, and I still think it's really cool, but it's obviously not how the world works, but I still think it's cool." The guy was like, a girl, or 16-year-old girl, came to Weta Workshop, and she asked for a job. She begged for a job, and we didn't know whether she was like, "Oh," we were like, "It's just some kid." So we gave her an impossible task. We told her that she had to 3D print an eyeball, which is something that they had never been able to figure out before then, because eyeballs are so just intricate and detailed, and it's so difficult to make the shape and stuff and get the details in there just using a 3D printer. But if they were able to do that, it would be such a massive boost to their productivity, because you can immediately make giant eyes, or like miniature eyes. And they were like, if in 3 days, it was 3 days or 3 weeks, no, it was like 3 weeks, I think. In 3 weeks, come back with a, it might have been 3 days, I don't know, this is not the important part of the story. In a small amount of time, come back with a 3D printed eyeball, and we'll give you a job at Weta. So she went away, and they were like, "She's not coming back." And obviously enough, because I just pretty much spoiled the story at the start, she came back with a 3D printed eyeball. She'd figured it out. Which, oh man, that's cool as, right? It's like, do this, prove to us through this one simple task. It's like very much storytelling type stuff, but it's still really cool. I was supposed to talk about stuff, and then I got completely sidetracked. Oh yeah, this is one massive tangent, isn't it? So I'm just gonna keep going. The second room we went to was. Should I continue? I feel like you guys might be enjoying this. The second part we went to was personally my favorite part, but it was the coolest part. Like, I feel like it's the coolest part. So I really don't want to put up photos, right? I really don't want to have to comb through this shit and put photos up, because I've been like editing all day on the latest video that's coming out soon, and I just don't want to fucking. And all of yesterday as well. I don't want to fucking edit more, and it's late as well. We'll see. If there's a funny photo here, then you'll know. But there's probably not going to be. I don't think I don't think I can edit this shit, man. So, second room was like a miniature massive castle. It was so cool. The details were insane. It was like, I can't even describe it really. Just think of. I mean, I hate to draw comparisons, but just think of a Lord of the Rings like elven castle, right? Massive, fucking massive, and then just like squished down. It was still massive. Like, it was still like my height times 2 or like times 3 or something. But it was like tiny. It was like miniature scale. That part was cool. We were walking around in the massive cliff area. I don't know how to describe it. We were walking around in the ravine, I guess. That was cool. I like that part. So we walked around in there, and that's my favorite part, just because of, like, spectacle's always going to be the draw, right? You can explain that you did this really complicated thing, and because people don't understand, they're not going to understand. But if you show someone something cool that is easily understandable just from the visuals, yeah, I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit. Third area we went to, another intermission, was like a cavalry area where they explained how they made armor. They didn't explain it. Like that's one of the cool things about this whole exhibition, right? Is they never explain anything to you. I think at the start of it, they said it's a all touch exhibition. It's an all touch exhibition. So we encourage you to touch everything, which is cool, right? Like most of the time, it feels when you're taking tours of like of these kind of things, it feels more like they've just gone and taken a whole load of things that from their workshop and stuff, which yes is authentic, but it's not catered towards an experience. The Weta Workshop one was like very much catered towards an experience as well as trying to teach. It was, if normal exhibitions are education and like a carnival is entertainment, then this was very much an edutainment one. You were supposed to have fun, but you were very much trying to learn things along the way. That's what I found cool about it. So the intermission was where we had we didn't quite learn about how to make it. Like it's not like I could go out and make armor now, but I could, like, I understand it to a degree. So there was armors, there was swords. I took a sweet ass photo. Please, for the love of God, KitKat in the future, have the energy and the will to edit this. Please do. Please. I don't think I can. I'll put the photos up. Come on, man. I mean, I figured out how to, if you press L, this is going to sound stupid. I just raved about how good I am at using Premiere, and then I tell people that I just learned about if you press L, it times 2's your video speed, and then you can edit in times 2 speed. Which I used to think was a plugin, but it's not. It's just actually just a thing you can do in regular Premiere. So yeah, and then after the intermission, so there's the first block horror movie, second block intermission where we lent the guys' workshop office, second part, which is the miniature sculpture scale thing, intermission for armor and blacksmithing stuff, and then the third part, which was the final part, which was like another giant model. They seem to have a knack for making giant things, but it was sci-fi. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but there were like we found 2 righteous bisons. Me and Sam found 2 righteous bisons because Weta Workshop actually made a 2-scale righteous bison, because it was actually a Weta Workshop promo in Team Fortress 2. You know what the righteous bison is? It's Team Fortress 2 item, and I actually have the righteous bison in real life. I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago when I was down in Wellington for whatever reason. So I have it, which is really cool. It's probably one of my favorite like items in my room. So that's cool, even though I keep it on like a high shelf. Thankfully, it's really nice build quality, although it did break in shipping. Don't tell Weta Workshop that I said that, but broken shipping. But it's really good build quality in the sense that the paint doesn't fade. It's not gonna break over time. Like I keep it on my shelf, and I kept my diamond sword on my shelf, and it's fucking frayed away. It's carved away like it's an actual diamond sword. Got durability on it. Nah, but it's so good. I always keep it on my shelf of delights, and always try and make sure that it's in safe quality and safe harboring. Yes. So that was the final part, was the sci-fi one where there was like a massive robot. I'm gonna have to ask Sam if I can use the photo, but if I put the photo up, it was funny because Sam was wearing a fucking stupid ass t-shirt with like Drake God's plan. That shit was cursed. So that's the end of the exhibit or the exhibition. Kind of. We did a second thing which you can pay extra to do, and it was like a blood making class. Well, not blood making, but it was like a applying fake blood class, and that was, I made an Among Us or something. I don't know. We made a couple cum jokes. I gotta talk to Sam quickly. Oh, Sam's texting me on Dibcorp. Dead Soapy growls even when you. Fuck. Okay, so Sam is I gotta ask Sam. So something happened while we were out there. I am filming pod right now. Can I talk about about thing. I'll say thing here, but I'm taking. Bruh. I think I spelled Isaac wrong. Isaac. Nice. Thank you. Okay, so I actually gotta send that. Hold on. So like, but so after we finished the exhibition, we went there with me, Sam, Sam's brother, and Sam's brother's girlfriend. And so afterwards, when we were done, obviously everyone was hungry, so we went out to get food. And we were there, we were sitting there, we were eating, and Sam's brother, I need to make sure not to say his name. Sam's brother was talking heaps about how he was hungry during the whole thing. And there was this part during the horror part where he said, if we get jump scared, because there was this really cool sequence where we had to like walk through a barn and it was really closed in and stuff. And he was like, if I get jump scared, I'm gonna yak on the animatronic. I'm gonna yak on the jump scare, bro. So if you don't know what yakking is, it's fucking. I don't know if it's New Zealand terminology or like Australian terminology, but it's terminology. It just means throwing up. It's barfing or whatever. It's fucking yakking. So we went out to. You can probably see where the story's going, but we went out to get some food. We just went to a random burger joint. It was like Brad's Burgers or some shit. And while we were there, we ordered our food. It got here, and we were all eating. I ordered like teriyaki chicken or something. Sam ordered a burger. Sam's brother ordered a burger, and Sam's brother's girlfriend ordered two drinks. She ordered a milkshake and like a soda or something. And she was like, "Nah, I'm not that hungry though. Like, I gotta go with this, bro." So, while we were eating, was oh my god, now I have to edit it. Okay. While we were eating, Sam's brother was talking, and then he just stopped all of a sudden, and he looked down, and I was like, I was looking at him, I was like, something's weird, but I'm eating and I'm enjoying this, so I kept eating. And then he like held his mouth, and then his cheeks swelled up, and he was like, I love how I just did that. You can't even see it. His cheeks swelled up, and I was like, did he just puke? And then he let go, and fucking half went fucking everywhere. It went all over his food. It went all over. We had a water thing where you pour water. It went all over that. And I was sitting there, and I was like in stunned silence for a second, and then I just leaned down and ate another one of my fucking teriyaki chicken things. And then, oh my god! And then Sam's brother's sister, uh, Sam's Sam's brother's girlfriend was like, just look at me, as if I was fucking struggling. And then I put my arms, I'm okay, I'm good. And she was like, actually, I'm gonna just look at you. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then she was like, actually, fuck this, I gotta leave. Well, she didn't say I gotta leave, but she said, I'm gonna just walk out for a little bit. And then Zenfro was like, yeah, yeah. And so we cleaned up. It was a little disgusting, but it was more funny than it was disgusting, honestly. I didn't mind it that much. It was just funny. I can't even include that. I'm so like, I'm thrown away. So we did all that. That was funny as fuck. We went home. It was a little bit awkward. There was this part where we had to take photos. It was kind of cringe. I like did this thing where I closed my eyes because my eyes were fucked up, and then they were itching, and then I closed them while it was taking the photo, and then I looked so gone in the photo, and I looked terrible. Everyone else is doing a funny pose, or like, they're looking good, and then I'm just standing on the side. I look fucked. Yeah. I said that. Hold on. I gotta text Sam Uwu. Also, can I include include God's plan photo? Plan photo from Weta. There we go. Hopefully that is poggers. All poggers and all good. So yeah, in conclusion, that is why the podcast last week was a truth or dare session me and Sam did earlier in the week. Earlier in the week. That's why I included that. I hope you all enjoyed the episode, by the way. That one. I hope it wasn't too weird. I say that as if anyone I mean, it got views, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Or you're subscribed if you blur my beautiful face. I don't want the viewers getting jealous. Well, thank you, thank you. So yeah, that is the reason why. Yeah, Oya subscribed. I wonder if he's watching. There's no way you're watching, are you? I don't want like I don't want to like make Oya. Oya, if you're watching, Oya, if you don't know who Oya is, by the way, and you're like a funny watcher of this funny channel, Oya is a frequent from my main channel. I haven't checked time yet. Hold on, how long have I been going for? Only 30 minutes. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. Oh, 25 minutes actually. Yeah, Oya is a frequent from my main channel. He came into the community when I. Oh fuck. Why did I do that? Why did that? So he came into the community when I think it was my Yuri video. Yeah, it was my Yuri video. Bro posted, he was like, "Why are you a cat?" And then it goes to the point where I was cross-dressing, and he was like, "Ah, yeah." And then I made a whole video about cross-dressing, which was kind of poggers. Oya's cool, but I was gonna say, I don't want Oya to feel obligated to watch these fucking things, because sometimes you know, obviously, parasocial relationship. I say that as if I'm like a massive YouTuber. Okay, obviously, like I'm a smaller channel, so people feel closer connected to me. It is technically a parasocial relationship, but that makes it sound serious. Or I mean, it is serious, but it makes it sound like I'm a big YouTuber and it's like a big problem. But you know, obviously people feel closer to me, so they feel like they have to support me, or they feel like I'm their friend or something, and that's it. I'm treading on fucking eggshells right now. So they feel like they have to watch my shit, or they feel obligated to watch it because I'm a small YouTuber. They want to support me. They want to show like I'm their friend. Like they want to do as much as possible. But I don't want Oya to. Obviously, I appreciate and really like a lot of the guys in my community, and not just guys, but everyone in my community. You're not my friends, but you're whatever's next to that, right? You're my viewers. You're doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you or don't enjoy your company, but it just means that when I go out to go to the Weta Workshop thing, I'm not gonna go send a post in YouTube community tab asking if anyone wants to come with me, right? It's if I go out to a friend's house, I'm not going to ever be referring to you unless our relationship progresses further than what it is. This sounds like this isn't just at Oya, but Oya is part of this, but you know. And then there's always the hard part about addressing this kind of stuff, which is the fact that I'm not necessarily alienating, but I'm definitely like, people can feel like, oh, so I don't mean anything to you. Or like, oh, well, that just like really makes me feel sad about this relationship we've got going here. I mean, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, like, I could make a whole video about this shit. You know, I'm just gonna say what's relevant right now. So I don't want Oya to feel obligated to be watching these, because I'm not gonna lie, these podcasts are kind of shit. It's kind of difficult for me to sit here for 45 minutes talking about stuff, even though I'm doing it right now. But to be fair, I've had 2 weeks where I haven't had a podcast, which hasn't happened before. So I actually have quite a bit to talk about. And I even had quite a bit to talk about last week, because I spent the whole episode talking about my fucking stupid ass computer case, which just got me going. So I have quite a lot to talk about, but these videos are not good. And I do not want you to watch every single one of them and comment underneath every single one of them and not actually kind of enjoy it. But you know, you still want to support me, so you still want to be there for me, but you're not actually enjoying it, but you're doing it for me, right? You're doing it because it's the good thing to do. But if you don't, you know, what's the phrase? It's like through thick and thin, but it's the Bill whatever his name is, Bill something. It was like, I stuck with them through thick and thin. No, through thick, go, leave. If my content is boring as fuck and I go down the deep end, I don't want you sitting here with me, sinking on my ship with me, right? If my content goes downhill, feel free to fuck off. Feel free to feel free to unsubscribe. Like, people have unsubscribed before. Look, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little bit sad when I go to check my analytics. I'm like, wow, I wonder if I got any new subscribers from the video, and then people have unsubscribed. That does feel a little bit sad. That does feel like maybe this whole YouTube thing isn't gonna work out after all. But that's a bit of oh fuck, I got some shit in my nose. That's a bit of a exaggerated quality moment. Oh fuck. I should do like a podcast trailer or something. No, I don't. I have as many videos as I have podcast episodes, and I quite like that. So, what am I gonna talk about? What was I talking about? What the fuck? My brain just left. So I was talking about Oya. I was saying how Oyas are frequent. Parasocial relationship. Don't want you to feel. Yes, that's pretty much all I want to say. But if Oya is here, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that joke. I feel like that joke's a bit too far. I mean, the last time I did jokes like that with Oya, my channel got a fucking YouTube strike. So yeah, can't be doing those kinds of jokes. I can't wait till November, right? Imagine the podcast in November. I'm gonna be sitting here and I'm gonna be a dried up corpse. I'm gonna be talking about, I just want to watch Twisted Grim. I just want to go onto Reddit, man. I can't do this anymore. And then by the fourth week, I'm gonna be sitting there, and then the first week of December, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, sorry about the last couple of episodes. This is good. I don't know. I've been thinking about N quite a lot recently. I don't know why. It's just come into my brain. So bad. Come onto my. Bro, didn't mean it like that, man. I did not mean it like that. Is my microphone still in front of my face? Did I move away from it? No. It's here. It's here. Good. So, have we hit the part of the episode where I can finally start talking about the shit that I actually thought I was going to talk about this episode? Yeah, 32 minutes. Okay. We have 15 minutes left. About 2 episodes ago, so yeah, on the 17th episode, I said that I wanted to talk about the albums that I've been listening to. And let me fill in. So it's KitKat album time, because I listen to quite a lot of music. I enjoy music. I feel like aside from YouTube, gaming, and school, that's my third thing fourth thing. But the thing about music, right, is that you don't have to actively listen to music. It can be in the background. So that's why I get a lot of chance to listen to music. Like, music is definitely the thing that I get the most of. I listen to the most of. Like, my end of year Spotify Wrapped this year is going to be fucking insane. It's going to be stupid how long that shit's going to be. So I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not, but I'm sure I'm it. I'll update everyone when I get it. Hopefully they still do Spotify Wrapped. I don't know why they'd stop. It gives them so much free advertising, but you know how companies are. So they make the most dumb shit, stupid, bad shit, fucking stupid things. Alright, bad shit, stupid. I'm gonna have to censor that out. Now I definitely have to edit this shit. Damn, that sucks. Alright. What was it about? Ah, yes, that's right. Fucking. Okay. Recap of stuff that I've listened to since I did their initial reviews. So I've listened to, unsurprisingly, a lot more Scaring the Hose by, I don't know what I've talked about and what I haven't so far, but Scaring the Hose, I've listened to a lot by Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia. And by the way, I'm just going to make clear, this is very much JPEG Mafia week. It's JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, but it's JPEG Mafia week. I listened to so much fucking JPEG Mafia. Scaring the Hose, and I was like, Scaring the Hose is really good. I wonder what the rest of his projects are like. And then indoctrinated into the Peggy lifestyle right now. You would not believe how much Peggy I'm listening to. You'd think I'd be getting pegged. That was bad. So, Scaring the Hose, unironically one of my favorite albums of all time. I recently made a Space Hay account. If you don't know what Space Hay is, I don't blame you, because it's fucking terrible. It's just not a good social media site. So Space Hay essentially, right, is a recreation of MySpace, if you remember that. I don't remember that. I was not around during the MySpace eras, but it's a thing that people did, and it was, I don't know so how do I put this? Let me just go profile onto my Space Hay. So it's the reason why I personally made a Space Hay account is because it gives a lot of freedom with, so obviously your profile on like Twitter, for instance, you get your profile picture, your banner, and maybe a pinned tweet or something, and that's about as much customization you get. Everything looks the same, every layout is the same. You don't get to customize how with the shape of your profile picture and stuff. Whereas Space Hey lets you edit the like HTML of your layout, or they call it a layout, but it's of your profile. And I was like, oh, I haven't done HTML training in a while. I want to give it a try. I used to do a lot of coding. I the thing about coding, right, is one of those things where I could totally go to school for coding. I could totally become a coder. I could learn coding, and but coding's so fucking boring and it's tedious and it's annoying. And it's actually just like creative math. I don't know, like that's what coding is, right? It's creative math. And I like creative shit, right? I did enjoy coding, which is why I did Space Hay. But oh, man, God, coding sucks. What the fuck am I doing? No, so Space Hay lets you edit the HTML. In the description I put my new topster. So that's literally that's all I was fucking saying. How did I manage to stretch that out into something that made absolutely no sense and didn't matter? Give me a second. I'm just finding my topster just so I can get it. Can I like? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually go to my topster in my Space Hey. Give me a second, because I can't open my desktop because VR chat's open right now. Uh, profile. Where is it? Space Hey. I'd like my current topster, please. Ah, here we are. So my current topster. Yeah, it's changed a little bit from the birthday video. Strangely enough, some stuff's been removed, some stuff's been added. Just because Pecky. That's pretty much it. I even need to update it again because I haven't put the new Pecky stuff on it. Where would I put the new Pecky? I'll do a live update on my topster now. So as of right now, so I have number 1 is still Food. Number 2 is Minecraft soundtrack, although as I've said in my, and then number 3 is Igor. I think Igor, in my birthday video, I said that those 3 are interchangeable, but I think I'll bump it down. I think Igor is a very solid second place or third place. It's third place to whatever. I think Food and the Minecraft soundtrack are interchangeable though. I don't have like a like really solid connect. I don't have like a reason to have one over the other aside from nostalgia. Actually, I have quite a lot of nostalgia for both of those albums, so really, like, I don't know. Those two albums are just as good as each other. So third place is Igor, fourth place is Undertale soundtrack. Fourth place is Undertale soundtrack. So it goes Food, Minecraft, Igor by Tyler the Creator, Undertale soundtrack by Toby Fox, Mad Villainy by not by Food, by MF Doom and Madlib. I'm gonna run out of time at this rate. Holy shit, I'm taking so fucking long. 38. Yeah, so Mad Villainy by MF Doom and Madlib. Number 6 is the Lunchbox mixtape by Funk. Number 7 is Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia and Denny Brown. It only has JPEG Mafia listed there on the artist names though, but that's sort of something else. Yeah, so I really like that album. I think the only thing that I thought was the only track on it that I don't think is super high in 10 out of 10 is Orange Juice Jones, which I think is a 9. Oh, it's like a 7 out of 10, and then Where You Get Your Coke From is like a 8 out of 10. Because although I really like experimental shit. I like industrial. I think it's called industrial hip hop. I don't know. I really like just noises, right? Just fucking noise. But I feel like really Where You Get Your Coke From is a little too. It's obviously supposed to be a representation of Denny Brown and JPEG Mafia's approach to rapping and stuff. In general, it's like really abrasive. It's really noisy and weird. So it makes sense. It's the final one on the track. It ends super abruptly and weirdly. It makes sense for it to be the finishing track, but I still think that on a musical standpoint, it's not as good as the other ones, but it's still good. Still like an 8 out of 10. So I really like that. I think my favorite track off of Scaring the Hose is either Lean Beef Patty or Step a Pig. A lot of people like Kingdom Hearts Key. I think it's Kingdom Hearts Key. I really like that one as well. I mean, all of them are really, really good, but I feel like for some reason Lean Beef Patty and Step a Pig are just like one song for me. The first time I heard them, I thought they were one song. So those two are like really good songs. I think they're my favorite when they're together. Although if we're counting one, I prefer Step a Pig over Lean Beef Patty, but I still think that, yeah, really good. And then 8th, this isn't really my 8th pick, but it's the Sierra and the Hose DLC pack. I only put it in 8th because It's next to Securing the Hose, right? So it's a connection. I count it as a connection. I just want people to know that I have listened to the album and I really enjoy it, and it's there as a extension of Securing the Hose. But if I was rating the album by itself, no, it wouldn't be there. It would be like lower down. But I'm just putting it there just because I really liked it. I think I don't have any songs that I dislike on that one. I think had any of those songs been put onto Orange Juice instead of Orange Juice Jones, the album would have been better. I can understand why No 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 isn't on the album because again, it's gospel themes, or not again, but it's gospel themes, and there's already God Loves You, and Ho, Heaven on Earth. So it makes sense they wouldn't want a third gospel track on there. There's No You Ain't. I really like No You Ain't. No You Ain't. I like the beat on that one. I like the only thing I don't like is Peggy says, "Damn that bitch restarted," but he says the R slur. I mean, I'm not a big I don't care if you slurs or not. I mean, obviously, if you use the N word in public, or if you're a white dude who uses the N word derogatory as a derogatory term, I'm not going to be around you. Like, what the fuck? Obviously not. But in terms of just using slurs as an artistic statement, or I don't mind it, but it does. I don't know. I've trained myself. And I like this about myself, but I've trained myself to hear a slur and not register it as something good. I always question whether or not that's okay. I hear slur, and instead of going yeah or just going with the vibe, I always go, wait a second, was that okay? And then if it was okay, then yeah. But every time I hear him say that, I know it's okay, or I know it's an artistic statement, or I know that it's who gives a fuck. Still, yeah, rubs me the wrong way. Me personally. Second song is the second song Tell Me Where to Go? I haven't. Hold on, let me go to DLC pack quickly. It is Hermanos. I don't mind Hermanos. I think that is the weakest track. A lot of people really like it. I think it's the weakest track. I think that the beats, it's not as bad as Orange Juice Jones. It's like a 9 out of 10. All these tracks are 10 out of 10 except for Hermanos, in my opinion, is a 9 out of 10. Tell Me Where to Go is a bit slow. Actually, Tell Me Where to Go is probably 9 out of 10 as well. And I really like No No No. I gotta give mini reviews because I think I'm running out of time. I was supposed to talk about a lot more of this. Holy shit, I only have 3 minutes left. Oh fuck, okay. Should I speedrun this or should I leave it? No, I'm gonna speedrun this. I listened to Tiny Brown Short Stay Expedition. I really like it. I don't understand why Phantoms didn't give it 10 out of 10. I think it's a 10 out of 10 album. It's really, really good. I think my least favorite song is Get High, but only because it's really slow and weird, and weird songs weird me out, but I still think it's a 10 out of 10 song. It's just a bit weird. Bit weird in it. I think my favorite one on there is either Dance in the Water, really though, or Ain't It Funny, but it's probably Ain't It Funny. That's the only thing that I didn't like about the album when I first listened to it, was the fact that Ain't It Funny was just such a good track that it made the other ones feel not as good, which is a weird criticism, right? But in retrospect, after hearing it a lot more times, really though it's not as good as Ain't It Funny, but it's nearly as good. It's just some really good, they're all really good tracks on there. What else haven't I talked about? Oh yeah, okay. Let's go JPEG Mafia speedrun. JPEG Mafia speedrun. I've listened to a lot of JPEG Mafia. I've listened to Veteran. I think Veteran is okay. I agree with Fantano's rating of 8 out of 10. I think my favorite, it does have my two favorite, or one of my favorite JPEG tracks off of there, that being Baby I'm Bleeding, or is it? Yeah, it's Baby I'm Bleeding. I just fucking love that killer verse. Now I'm up in Brownsville. That goes so hard. That's just so fucking hard. And then the beat is just sampling is so fucking cool. And JPEG Mafia is a master at using samples. So good. Baby I'm Bleeding, favorite song of the album. And then it's the 9-1 for the Boulevard song at the start. Whatever. That's my second favorite track. And then the rest of the ones are good, but none of them stick out to me, and some of them are a teensy bit annoying. Next one I listened to was All My Heroes Are Cornballs, obviously. Also, very, very good album. Loved it. Really liked it. Agree with Fantasy 8 out of 10. The only thing that I don't like about it is that none of the tracks I remember all that well. You have stuff like Baby I'm Bleeding and the Boulevard song off Veteran, which I remember, but for some reason, the only one I can really remember is the side track, which is Forgive Me, Jesus, for I'm a Thought, but that's probably only because I watched the fucking Genius view of it, so obviously I'm gonna remember it. It's Praise the motherfucking Lord. And then the final one, LP, that's definitely Peggy's best album. It just sounds so good. It feels like, in terms of mastering his craft at being bad, terrible mixing, the mixing, I just can't, but, terrible mixing as an art form, right? he's so good at it. He makes it bad that it's good. It's not like bad that it's good. Like Corey Feldman is bad that it's good. If that, Fantano simp right here. It's bad isn't good, isn't it? He's mastered the art of what most people would consider to be bad music. Oh fuck, I'm gonna run over. I listened to that. It was very, very good. Have you ever listened to anything else? I don't think I've listened to anything else. Let me check my fucking Spotify. I'm running out of time. Fucking slash. I prefer LP offline to LP regular. That's see ya.